I caught my husband having intercourse with his mistress in the car with our baby in the back seat. Discovering my husband's betrayal shattered our lives, but what I found recently has left me utterly devastated. My husband and I have been married for almost 10 years. We have 3 kids, ages 5, 3, and 9 months. Around 2.5 years ago, I discovered he was having an affair that had been going on for about 6 months. We separated for a while. I went to therapy. We went to marriage counseling. We spent about 10 months apart, supposedly working on ourselves and working on our marriage before officially getting back together. During that initial reunion phase, we surprise conceived our youngest. Until very recently, my husband seemed very committed to fixing what he had destroyed in our marriage. He jumped through all the hoops, or so I thought. Believe me, I read the books, followed the rules, and made all the demands. He did everything he was asked to do. It wasn't always smooth sailing. He'd push back sometimes. He got defensive. We argued. It hurt a lot. But I truly believed we were continuing our path of overcoming what he had done. I felt like our relationship was strong. For the first time in our entire relationship, I felt like we were finally operating as a team. I can't say that my full trust in him ever completely returned, but I was dealing with this in therapy. We were dealing with it. It was okay for me to not trust 100% yet, and we both understood it was a process and trust had to be replenished piece by piece. I lived with this and continued to work on it. Recently, I started to feel suspicious in a way I couldn't ignore. He was being too nice to me, too attentive, too willing to do whatever I wanted or needed. That was actually the first thing that tipped me off. He was being too good of a husband. Then I noticed he was doing things he never really did before. Offering to do the big grocery shopping trips, taking the kids to new parks, running to pick up food when we ordered out. He always opted to have food delivered and could never be bothered to go pick it up. Little things, but they were big changes to me. Now, his work schedule has supposedly changed. No longer does he get home as early as he used to. I really tried to not be paranoid about it all, but it was driving me crazy. Eventually, I couldn't take it anymore, so I followed him. I followed him when he took our 9-month-old baby with him to run several household errands under the guise of allowing me to relax. I found him with the woman he had previously cheated on me with, her on top of him in the driver's seat having sex, and our baby was in the back seat. He had sex with his mistress, with our baby right there. It's beyond disgusting. If he wanted to use the excuse of running errands to go meet up with her, he didn't have to take the baby too. It's gross. He knew he was going to meet up with her for sex. Why would he take the baby? He said the baby was asleep in the rear-facing car seat and had no clue what was going on. He claimed it was no different than when we have sex in our bedroom with the baby asleep in our room. How dare he compare what he was doing with her to that? I set an emergency appointment with my therapist. I was seeing red, or beyond red, black, all black. Somehow I came out of that appointment even more mad. I just wanted to rage, but she kept trying to talk me down. Damn it, I don't want to be talked down right now. I don't want to be calm and rational. I want to scream, hit things, break things, and destroy his life. I will be honest. I'm only posting this here so that I can get to the required account age in Karma to post it in the infidelity group I was actually trying to post it in. I don't know where else to go where I can just commiserate on all the different ways I can destroy him now. That's all I want to do right now. I destroyed my marriage 3 weeks before it even started at my bachelor's party. One reckless night in Nashville turned my dream wedding into an impending disaster. My wedding day is March 10th. I'm getting married to the most amazing woman in the world, and I've ruined it in one weekend. My bachelor party was this past weekend, and my friends and I decided to go to Nashville to celebrate. We partied hard with a lot of drinking and a lot of fun. By the time we got to the strip club, I was already blasted. I was going along with everything, caught up in the moment. Eventually, we went into the private room, and the strippers started offering extra services. I was so drunk, I made the dumbest decision of my life. One stripper offered me a blowjob for $40, and I accepted. Then she offered me sex for another $100, and I accepted that too. I had sex with the stripper and didn't even have a moment of clarity until the next day when I sobered up. The weight of my actions hit me like a ton of bricks. I feel awful and disgusted with myself. The only thing saving me is that my friends were also doing things they shouldn't have, so no one is going to snitch. I just wish so badly I could take this one mistake back. I don't know what I'm going to do. My fiancée, Emma, has no idea, and the guilt is eating me alive. We've been together for 5 years, and she's my best friend, my confidant, and the love of my life. She doesn't deserve this betrayal. We've been planning our wedding for over a year. Every detail has been meticulously thought out, from the venue to the flowers to the seating arrangements. Emma has poured her heart into making this day perfect, and now I've tainted it with my reckless behavior. The thought of walking down the aisle with this secret between us feels unbearable. I keep replaying that night in my head, wishing I could go back and change my actions. The stripper's face, the smell of alcohol, the dim lights of the club, all of it haunts me. I feel like I've betrayed not just Emma, but also our families and friends who have supported us. I've been avoiding Emma's calls and texts, claiming I'm busy with last-minute wedding preparations. But the truth is, I can't face her without breaking down. The weight of my guilt is crushing me, and I don't know how to move forward. Do I confess and risk destroying everything we've built? Or do I bury this secret and try to live with the shame? My friends have been trying to reassure me, saying it was just a drunken mistake and that it doesn't mean anything. But it means everything to me. It means I've shattered the trust and respect in our relationship. It means I've let down the person who means the most to me. As the wedding day approaches, the pressure is mounting. I'm terrified that Emma will somehow find out, that someone will slip up and mention the bachelor party. I can't bear the thought of seeing the hurt and betrayal in her eyes. I don't know if I can live with myself if she finds out. In one reckless night, I turned my upcoming dream wedding into a nightmare. I don't know how to fix this, or if it can even be fixed. All I know is that I love Emma more than anything, and I've never felt more lost and alone. My husband is cheating on me with my best friend. I'm honestly not sure where to start, so I guess I'll just start. My husband and I have been dating since I was 19, and he was 22. We've been married for 6 years now. We have 2 kids, and I'm 6 months pregnant with our third. 2 years ago, I found out my dad has stage 3 colon cancer. My dad is my only parent as my mom passed away when I was 12. He's my favorite human, and life without him doesn't seem as colorful. His laugh is contagious, and he gives these big bear hugs that seem to make all of your broken pieces feel like they're perfectly in place again. Whenever I've had a hard day, he doesn't poke and prod and just lets me vent and listens. About 5 months ago, we discovered the treatments aren't working for him, and in direct quote of the doctor, he said months, not years. Since then, he's gotten progressively worse and now is losing memory. He looked at the dog he got for me on my 21st birthday and said, "Wow, that's a nice dog. Where'd you get it?" My husband has been my absolute rock. He has been there for me, holding my hand and helping me through this. He's been so loving and attentive to both my kids and I. Don't get me wrong, I am a mother first always. I don't allow myself to wallow. My kids are still loved, cared for, played with, and I haven't let my load slack around the house. Once my dad got his updated prognosis, my husband encouraged me to quit my job. About a month later, we discovered we were pregnant again, and I still hadn't let go of my job. I kept holding out for some reason. After finding out I was pregnant again, he assured me it was still okay to quit my job, that honestly it would save us a small fortune on daycare costs anyways. So I did. I quit my job. My best friend and I have been friends since diapers. Her family is like my family and vice versa. My mom and her mom grew up together. We've always been solid and right. After my dad's appointment, when we found out he had so little time left, I drove straight to her house and she held me while I cried for hours. If there are soulmates in friend form, she was mine. Thick as thieves, is what my mom used to say. This morning, as I was up with my 3-year-old, he's sick. My husband's work alarm was going off. He has a few he sets, so I turned that one off and gently woke him up. He said he was up late working, so he took the morning off. Rolled over and went back to sleep. As I went to turn off the remainder of his alarms, I saw a text from my friend on his lock screen that said, "I'm assuming since there hasn't been an angry pregnant lady on my doorstep, you haven't told her about us yet?" Time froze in that moment. I took his phone and walked away and just read their conversations. 4 months this man has been fucking my best friend. 4 months these people have been lying to my face. And I know what you're going to say. You should have seen the warning signs. But I've been clutching this phone in my hand for 2 hours and nothing. He has been so loving and attentive to me, but he always has been. So kind and gentle. There has been no late-night work nights except for once in a blue moon. There has been no lingering touches between them or even glances. They act as they have since the day I first introduced them. How sick is it that she calls him her brother, but she screws him? I know so many people get a moment of clarity in situations like this, but I have none. Aside from being sad about my dad, I haven't changed. I'm still a loving wife and mother. I still doted on him and my children. I talk to him about how he is doing and how was his day every freaking day. I haven't allowed the ground to swallow me whole. I know what I have to do now, but I just don't want to. I'm about to lose my family and my support system in one blow. I'll confront him tomorrow. Today, I just need this last 24 haters of peace. As for her, I won't give her the satisfaction of a response. I don't care why she did it. She did it, and it's done. I was always the friend who cleaned up her messes. After today, I will cut her out of my life like she never mattered at all. This has to be the hardest storm I'll ever weather, but damn it, I know it'll sail through it. If not for me, for my children. That concludes today's story time. If you like stories like these, please make sure to like and subscribe for more. If you have any opinions on these stories, let me know what you think in the comments below. I hope you all enjoyed today's story time, and I hope to hear from you all soon.